Hey guys, and welcome. It's that time of year again. It is Preptober. It's time to start talking about our NaNoWriMo projects and what that's really going to look like. So, NaNoWriMo is National Novel Writing Month. It's run through a nonprofit organization out in California. And basically, this organization puts on two different events every year. They do NaNoWriMo and they do Young Writers Program. So we're going to be participating in the Young Writers Program. So first I'm going to explain what real Nano is, and then I'll explain what Young Writers Program Nano is. So real NaNoWriMo is 50,000 words in a month. The goal is to write an entire novel in a single month, the month of November. I'm going to be really honest with you. I've attempted to participate multiple years. I've never quite managed it. 50,000 is a lot of words, especially if you're trying to hold down a job and family and school. It's just, I've never managed it. I try every year though. Okay, so the Young Writers Program, they've kind of scaled it back to target people more like middle schoolers. So basically the way it works is you'll create a profile on the Young Writers Program website, and you're going to set an individual word count goal. Now we're going to set those word count goals as a group, and each of you individually are going to have a different word count goal. So Stick Man Bob and Stick Lady Jane are going to have two different word count goals, and that's totally fine. That's really kind of what we want, right? We want to make sure that everyone is challenged, but that no one is beating their head against a wall because this is way too much and there's no way they could ever get it done. All right, now your stories. You're like, oh, what am I going to write about? So there are lots of options here. You are going to choose the characters that you're writing about. You're going to choose the setting. You're going to choose the genre. So is it a mystery? Is it an adventure? Is it fantasy? Is it realistic fiction? You're going to choose the conflict. So what is the big problem that our characters are trying to solve? You're going to plan all the events that lead up to that turning point in our plot diagram. All right, that's going to be your rising action. You're going to have your turning point. Remember, that should be towards the end of your story. Right? It's going to be that final showdown of good versus evil, of strong versus weak, and where everything that your character has been working towards the entire story is solved or fixed. Then you have your falling action, where you tie up any loose ends, and your resolution, what I like to call the happily ever after moment. Now, by that, I do not mean that your story has to have a positive, happy ending. I like those, but not every story needs one of those or should have one of those. Okay, so you do still have to have, though, all the parts of your plot diagram. Okay, now, as far as characters and storylines go, there are a couple of very basic rules. You cannot use a real person. I cannot write my story about my brother John and the things that my brother John does. No, 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 he's a real person. We don't want to go after him like that. That would be wrong, okay? And even if you have that other person's permission, no. Okay? Now, you can be inspired by real people, and you could say, I want the personality of my brother, and the sense of humor of my dad, and the cooking skills of my mother, right? I could make one character pushing all these people together, but it's not going to be the exact same person right again. Okay, so now the second rule of this is it can't be a character somebody else has already created. That's plagiarism. I don't want to go to jail. Neither do you. Okay, so you can't take, I don't know, Batman and write your story about Batman. That's somebody else's character, right? He exists in the DC universe. That's DC's character, not ours. Okay, so it has to be an original character. All right, rule number 3. This is the important one. Names are tricky. Okay, make sure that you are giving your character a name that is not going to hurt somebody else's feelings. Okay, don't make your villain a thinly veiled attempt at making fun of somebody else. That's hateful, and we're not hateful people. Okay, so I'm going to be kind of looking out for some of these things, and I may say, hey, you're going to have to adjust that, but by and large, I want this to be your story. Okay, I am so excited for you to get started on this Preptober journey. All right, the Young Writers Program and NaNoWriMo both really push this idea of Preptober, where you kind of spend some time getting ready for just absolutely going 110% the month of November. All right, so we're going to kind of walk through in the next few videos about how to get ready. All right, you can do all of it planned out to a T. You can do a loose sketch. That's usually what I do, where I have my characters, I kind of know the plot, I don't have all the events planned out. Some people need it much more detailed. Some people are like, yep, I got characters and I got 3 events and we're gonna hope for the best. Okay, there are variations here and it does not all have to look the same. But be aware that these videos and the Nano Prep Workbook are both really good resources for kind of getting your thoughts organized so that you are ready to go on November 1st. Make sure you like and subscribe to this video. We'll talk to you soon.